Week 2 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few running backs I looked at off the wire this week. The first running back, Dylan Sampson of the Cleveland Browns. Dylan Sampson, he came out. Week 1 is the rookie, and he took over this backfield. I know Quentin Junkins is a possibility. He could make his season debut next week at Baltimore. But the thing is, Junkins just signed his contract. Obviously, he didn't have training camp, and Sampson week 1 looked very good in this backfield, and Jerome Ford didn't do much. So week 1, 12 carries, 29 yards versus Cincinnati with 8 catches, 64 yards. So good receiving back out of the backfield. Joe Flacco, veteran quarterback, to already obviously have confidence in a young rookie like Dylan Sampson is a good sign. I know week 2 is a tough matchup this week. Yeah, Baltimore, one of the better defenses in the league. But the thing is, they're going to be trailing early and often, most likely. This is Cleveland Brown team. And Sampson, he's going to get a lot of work catching the football out of the backfield. Like I said, even if Junkins is ready to go, like reports are claiming, week 2 with Baltimore, I think that Sampson is going to get worked in a lot. And Jerome Ford, if one of those two guys are going to be phased out, is going to be phased out in this offense. So right now, where this is the last chance for owners to go out there and get him, only available in 54% of fantasy leagues. Definitely an ad this week. The next running back, Trey Benson of the Arizona Cardinals. Benson, he was getting a lot of buzz in training camp with this Cardinal team. Praise from his head coach, praise from James Conner that he's going to get more work and be a big part of this offense this season. And in week 1, he went out there and he showed out with a good ball game. 8 carries, 69 yards, a catch for 6 yards. Still James Conner, the leader in the backfield for this Arizona Cardinal team, but yards per carry easily, Trey Benson outdid him in week 1. Even one of his big gains was a 53-yard rush. James Conner, he had 12 carries, 39 yards, 4 catches, 5 yards, and a touchdown, which salvages day. So I think as the weeks go on, Trey Benson, it could be more of his backfield, where it was a 60-40 split pretty much in week 1's ball game at the New Orleans Saints. Week 2, a good matchup once again versus Carolina. So to start the year off, 2 good matchups for this Arizona Cardinals team. So Trey Benson, while he's out there in 61% of fantasy leagues, and it could be sooner than later where he could be the leader possibly in this backfield. Definitely a running back to get off the wire with a light week on the wire this week. The next running back, Tyler Algier, another handcuff running back and one of the better handcuffs in the league of the Atlanta Falcons. We know Bijan Robinson, he's the workhorse, the bell cow, one of the best running backs obviously in all pro football and fantasy football. He was a top 1-2 pick in most fantasy leagues this season, was Bijan Robinson. And Tyler Algier, he got a decent workload, 10 carries, 24 yards in week 1 versus Tampa. Obviously not great production, but still to get 10 carries is nothing obviously to scoff at. Where we know Bijan Robinson, he's getting anywhere from 18, 25 touches per game, but Algier as a backup handcuff still getting decent work. And if anything ever happened to Bijan Robinson, he could step in and be a major contributor for fantasy owners as Algier, where we've seen before Bijan got into the league in his rookie season, he had 1,000 yards. So week 2, a tough matchup in Minnesota. But like I said, he's more of a stash than anything is Algier. While he's still getting work, and maybe when bye weeks kick in, he possibly could be a start in deepest of leagues. So right now, he's out there in still a decent amount of leagues, 68%. Next running back, Kareem Hunt of the Kansas City Chiefs. So Kareem Hunt still getting his work in this backfield for Kansas City. I've said it in other videos, he's looked like the better back last season when Pacheco came back, even though I know he wasn't 100% with the leg injury. In week 1, the touch is very similar between the two backs. Week 1 at the Chargers in Brazil, 5 carries, 16 yards, 2 catches, 10 yards for Hunt on 3 targets. And Pacheco, I still don't think he's 100%, or Andy Reid still might just have more confidence in Kareem Hunt as well, where Pacheco in week 1, 5 carries, 25 yards, 2 catches, 3 yards. So pretty much similar numbers for both these running backs, and obviously similar output. So Kareem Hunt, like I said, he knows this offense very well, going back to his first stint with Kansas City. He's available in tons of fantasy leagues, a forgotten man a little bit in 82%. And last season, he really helped big time when Pacheco was down. So Hunt, a nice pickup this week. And back Kenneth Gainwell of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he was the backup in there with Jalen Warren. Caleb Johnson, he wasn't a factor, unfortunately, he was the rookie. And Kenneth Gainwell, we know he's a veteran in this league, especially a lot of seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles. And he's available in 99% of fantasy leagues. So his debut, 7 carries, 19 yards with his new team with the Steelers, 3 catches, and 4 yards on 4 targets. So we know he's a smaller back, but a passing downs back as well is Kenneth Gainwell. And Jalen Warren, his work was 11 carries, 37 yards, 2 catches, 22 yards, and a touchdown in week 1. So Kenneth Gainwell, it was a 60-40 split pretty much between these two backs. So I think Kenneth Gainwell, he's a low priority ad, but someone definitely to keep an eye on. And like I said, Caleb Johnson, there were reports he was going to start the season third on the depth chart, and that's exactly what happened for the rookie, unfortunately, where also as well, he didn't look that great in camp. And Aaron Rodgers, we know we don't like rookie running backs as well. And Caleb Johnson, like I said, 1 carry, -2 yards in his debut. I wouldn't drop Johnson off my team, but right now Kenneth Gainwell is a guy to go out there and add because Jalen Warren, he isn't an every down back. So Gainwell's going to get some work and someone definitely to be rostered in 10 and 12 team leagues. That's a few running backs I looked at off the wire for week 2 of the fantasy football season.